Hello, good morning and welcome. It is January the 10th, just after 9 o'clock. So anyway, we'll start as ever with the AUD USD. We've seen quite a bit of strength over the last couple of days from the dollar. A little bit of weakness this morning, which is reflected here in this chart. So if you just look at the DXY, and if you just look at what's happened here and see how that's reflected more or less in all the charts that we'll be looking at this morning, apart from the GB US dollar, which has actually there's been more weakness in the pound than in the dollar. So there you go. We've come up nicely. We've come up to 75, just over 76 on the RSI, and then we broke nice and sharp back down. I was a bit worried about that sell signal there, in so much as we do have a long ratio on the commitment of traders for the Australian dollar. Anyway, we've come back down through. We've sort of bounced off the 65 mark, but I think there's more weakness to come on this. I'll be very interested in the commitment of traders report on Friday. Pound US dollar. The pound dollar is down on this support here. We can see that this bit of support all the way across here. It hit it with the tail. It's now down on it. I think it's going to break through. We have got a commercial short ratio of 1.4 to 1, which is quite an extreme position when you look at the chart historically. We are sort of pointing down on the RSI, and I think we're going to make a break lower later in perhaps next week. Euro USD came down nicely the last 3 days. A little bit of weakness this morning, but I do feel that this is going to follow through the rest of the week. So we'll see the strength coming through for the dollar, and you know, we will follow through with this quite nicely. USD Canadian dollar, same again. 2 days of strength, a little bit of weakness today. Back down onto support. We got a commercial short ratio of 1.8 for the Canadian dollar. We've had a bit of strength in the oil price, and yeah, I have just put another trade short in oil, and that is at a slight loss at the moment. We'll see how that goes. But the commitment of traders got an all-time short position on oil, so we are expecting a big break to the downside. We put our trend line down here on the RSI for the USD CAD, and we had a buy signal back here, and you know, we have moved up, and I think we're going to see more strength later on today. So let's see how that goes. USD Swiss franc. It's come up, hit a little touch of resistance right where it is. We got a long ratio of 3.5 to 1, which is fairly stiff. You know, and I think we might see a bit more downside on this pair. We've come up, we've hit the 50 on the RSI, and we're fairly flat today. So we'll see where that goes. I prefer it better on the crosses, and I keep saying this. And you know, hey ho. USD Japanese yen, quite a lot of strength in the yen from last night, from 10 o'clock last night GMT. So we've seen a big red candle here this morning. This is coming quite nice. Hopefully I'll be getting one of my trades in profit here soon. We came up, we've turned around, and now we're pointing sharply back down. So hopefully, no, thank you. Hopefully we will see that continue later this week. New Zealand dollar USA. Well, here you go. We've put the trend line up. We have got a fairly stiff, and if you look at it historically, so if you go and look at my commitment to traders report from Sunday, you know, I think I've gone back 5 years, and historically this is a fairly stiff long position that the commercials have taken, and they've increased it as the New Zealand dollar has actually got more strength. So they have increased their long position. So I think there might be quite a lot of nice downside to this. We've come up really high on the RSI. We bounced off the trend line yesterday. If this just goes sideways, I've mentioned this before, if this just goes sideways and runs along the top here, this will continue climbing. We are up at the moment at a little bit of resistance. If we break through that, we've had 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth day, and it looks like we're just nosing through it. But if we break through that, we might see even more upside to this pair. Silver, again, exactly the same thing as we've got on the DXY. Strength in the dollar, price of silver comes down, and we've had a little bit of a bounce back up. So we'll see where that goes. We're flat on the RSI. We're down on the 60. It's just poked below, and we'll see. You know, if you look at the year chart on the commitment of traders, this looks very bearish. But if you look at the 5-year charts, it does look actually fairly bullish. So I'm not that happy about taking this trade, especially as I am fairly committed at the moment. DXY, we've said it before, I've got my trade at the bottom with a stop in. This is a very cheap trade to the upside. I don't think I'm being charged any swaps at all. I put another trade in this morning. I'm at a little bit of a loss at the moment, but I expect more strength up, to continue on this. So we'll see where it goes to. But we are looking a bit flat on the RSI there. I've also put a little trade on palladium. This has got a fairly strong short position taken by the commitment of traders. So that's in the members center, but that looks quite a nice trade to me. We'll see where that goes. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you again tomorrow. Cheers, bye.